All right, the Cincinnati Bengals are making moves. Not everybody is picking up players off waivers. Not everybody's bringing in new players, but a lot of teams are finalizing that last position or two after cut down day. So in this video, I want to talk about who the Bengals just claimed off of waivers, why it is the best news for your defensive line in a time that you really, really needed it. And then we're going to go ahead and look at some of the players that you waived. We're going to look at what your final roster looks like, and more importantly, what that defensive line looks like going forward. Hey, if you're new to this channel, we've done a few Bengals videos, but we love doing NFL videos because we love the NFL. This isn't our first channel. As you can see over here, we are Detroit Lions fans, but we love talking NFL football as well. So let's talk some Bengals football on the defensive line. They have claimed KJ Henry off of waivers. Now, this is an interesting move. First off, it's interesting that Washington let him go. If I can be honest, he was a 5th-round pick last year for the Commanders. And as a 5th-round pick, he appeared in 10 games. Like, 3 of them he actually started, which is kind of crazy. He had 19 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, couple pass deflections, couple QB hits, and 1.5 sacks. All right, his PFF grade was okay. It was a 56.9. Now, this is the part where things get interesting. So you have a guy who played sparingly and played okay in his rookie year. But then he comes out in his sophomore campaign, and throughout the preseason with the Commanders, he balled out. Like, he played really, really well. Look at these numbers. All right, in this year's preseason with Washington, he racked up 10 pressures, 1 sack. All right, 9 hurries, 1 sack. That's 10. In just 51 pass rushing snaps while earning a standout 82.9 PFF grade. That means he had a 20% pressure rate. That is elite. Now, is he doing this against starting tackles? No, he is not. But still, to have a 20% success rate, that's really good. So why is this move necessary for the Bengals right now? Well, I'm going to give you a couple reasons. Number one, the Bengals' defensive line is not necessarily a position of strength. Trey Hendrickson on the other side, totally get it. Really good player. All right? But Myles Murphy, who had a rookie year, all right, is now on IR for at least the first 4 games. There needed to be someone who was going to come in there that was going to play that position, and KJ Henry can do that, and he can do that effectively. In fact, now, you decide what you like about PFF. Now, if you haven't heard of PFF, they're Pro Football Focus, and what they do is they look at the tape and they decide what was the player's responsibility in that play. Now, they can't know this with 100% certainty, but they can get pretty good at it. And then did they execute that? They give them a grade play by play. And at the end of the day, at the end of the game, at the end of the season, you get scores for players or grades based on how well they did their job. All right. That's kind of basically the way it looks. And KJ Henry, and as a rookie, and Myles Murphy had almost an identical PFF score. Now, they're both Clemson Tigers. The only difference is that one was selected in the 5th round and one was selected in the first. We all know Myles Murphy was supposed to be an absolute baller. But KJ Henry was good his senior year at Clemson. He was exactly what you'd expect to be a 5th-round pick and probably a little bit better as a rookie. But for some reason, he was let go. He was cut. What about his athletic profile? I always love looking at relative athletic score. So I watched the tape. Here's the things that I noticed. He doesn't show this extreme burst on tape when you're watching his tape. Like, it doesn't show elite quickness, if that makes sense. And the RAS shows that he does have some good athletic ability. And 8.34 is a really good score. Now, the relative athletic score is basically everybody that is a D end who tested, where do they fit in this range? Now, as you can see, he's very small for a defensive edge, but he's also very fast as far as straight line speed goes. But he didn't do any agility testing. And that tells me that, like, he knew maybe he's not as quick in and out of the breaks as he should be. And that actually showed. He'd get around the corner, and it's like, how do I want to put it? When you're driving a car, right, and it's a manual transmission, it's almost like he can downshift really well and then get around the tackle, right? He loves the move. He loves the under. He has a decent bend to him. But then it's like when he starts back up, he's in second gear. He doesn't get all the way down to first gear so he can rev back up. He stays in second gear. It's going to go, right? And that's the best way that I can describe what I've seen in him. But I think some of that explosion can be taught. So when you look at the edge groupings that you have here in Cincinnati, all right, Trey Hendrickson, obviously, we know who he is. We know what he's going to do. He's a beast. Love him. All right, love his game. But then after that, there was a lot of people where it's like, yeah, they're okay. All right, and KJ Henry's going to come in there and honestly do what the rest of them did, and he'll be just fine. So I think he's just somebody that you can add to the mix. And sometimes when you don't have like that elite edge rusher, that like really good elite edge rusher, what you need to do is you just need to throw bodies, right, on the defensive line. Just throw bodies, throw bodies. So even though they might not be elite, every time they're playing, they're fresh, which gives them a slight advantage. If you have an offensive tackle that's been out there for 8, 9 plays in a row, all right, even 6, 7, 5 plays in a row, and you have a defensive end that's coming in at 100% ready to go and fresh, well, guess what? Like, that's actually pretty good. Like, it gives him a little bit of an advantage because he's playing totally there. All right, let's look at the team here. I'm not going to make the longest video in the world. Answer me this question, all right, Bengals fans. Who are you most surprised with that was waived? All right, here we go. We can look at this at the terminated contracts of 2 vested veterans. That's Jalen Davis and Logan Woodside. Remember, if you are a vested veteran, you are released and you are free to go to another team immediately, re-sign immediately. If you are waived, you have to pass waivers. These are players with 3 or less years NFL experience. So these guys are Travis Bell, Nate Brooks, Cole Burgess, Devin Cochran, Elijah Collins, Carlos Davis, Dominique Davis, interesting, Nate Gilliam, Cam Grandy, Devin Harper, Shaka Haywood, Trey Hill, Shedrick Johnson, PJ Jules, Kendrick Pryor, and Lance Robinson, who was waived / injured. All right, leaving your 53-man roster, one of the most unique ones, 3 running backs. Only 3 running backs. Expect that to change. Love Yosevas right here. And yeah, I know. It's Yosevas. I actually know how to say that, right? Love seeing him make the team. I think between him and Jermaine Burton, if T. Higgins leaves after this year, they'll be able to absolutely fill in just well. Also, 5 tight ends. Okay. All right. You know, like one of these guys is going to end up playing probably a little bit of that fullback position for you, which can help you only keep 4 running backs. Offensive line, they kept 9. Defensive line, 10. All right. Your linebackers and corners are 5 each and 5 in the back and at safety. Nice, by the way, isn't it, to have McPherson as your kicker? Like, let's go. Money McPherson. All right. So what one surprised you the most? What wave surprised you the most, or wasn't there one? And then what player who made the roster surprised you the most, or anything like that? Hit that up in the comments below. If you like the content that you get on this channel, hey, we have a couple other Bengals videos. Go check them out. Please make sure you like and, of course, hit that subscribe button so you know when other videos are coming forward. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.